Hey everyone, this is Daniel, and in this video we're going to look at how you can build your own data connector from Microsoft's Q&A maker to Power Apps. This video is actually just an extension of this great article that Karthik has already written. So I'm just building this video to make this extension of this article. And during the video we may actually have some potential gotchas that we may run into, and that's the whole point of this video, is to see how you can overcome those mistakes. So the Q&A maker right now is in preview mode. That's something that I need to point out. And setting up your account is free. So after you do that, you can go to My Service or Services and go ahead and actually go to Create New Service first. And I'll create a new service. So I'll just call that as Demo. You can go ahead and create a URL, extract the data from a URL, but in this case I'll actually use this example file I have here. You go ahead and save that. I already have a copy on my desktop, so I just overwrite that. I'll select the same file. Then we create it. So it's taking all the data from that CSV file, and it has just built my knowledge base. And for the sake of this example, I'll just leave it as it is. So I'll click on that Save and Retrain button there. We'll click on Publish, and we'll click on this Publish again. And so this is the key information that I need to copy for the next steps. I already have that here. Let me just copy it again, because there's some things that we need to do. One of the key things is we will need this URL. So let's go ahead and build that. So we have that ready. We'll need this as well in a later on step, so we'll keep that also ready. So now we've got all the information, at least from the Q&A maker. Next, we are going to go ahead and build the JSON file. So for that, I will open up Postman. Now Postman again is a free application, so you can go ahead and use that as well. And once I come over here, basically you're creating a new collection. The first thing you want to do is, by default, you have the get. You want to change that to post. This is where I add that URL we just created. Authentication, you can leave that as no auth. The headers, again, we've already got the information, so let's put that in over here. Also in the body, select the raw button over here, and this is going to be our test, because we know with this test we will get 100% result. And let's test it. And so our test score was 100, which means that we were able to successfully communicate with QnN and get a 100% result over here. So I will now go ahead and save this. Let me just call this request name as demo. I'll also create a separate collection, and I'll call that demo as well. So we have all of this. Now I'll go ahead and export. Make sure you select collection version 1, that radio button, and I'll export that file. Let's just verify that I have that over here, and it is the JSON file. So we're even done with using Postman. So now let's just head on to Power Apps and build our custom connector. So here in Power Apps, it is important that you know which environment you are in. I'm using my prod environment. So when I create my app, I have to make sure that I create it in this environment. Otherwise, I will not have access to the custom connector. So I will use the custom connector over here. Click custom connector or create custom connector. First thing I'll do is I'll select this radio button, upload Postman collection v1, and I'll just find the file. And as you can see, when I did that, it by default even gave the collector name. It also gives you the description. So I'm going to leave everything as it is by default. Let's go to continue. Over here, change that to API key. And we're going to go ahead and put in some feeds over here, some information. And in this case, it is the subscription key or OCP, APIM subscription key. Paste, paste, leave that as header. Continue. Now this is where things can get a little tricky, so you want to make sure you get everything right, otherwise your test will not work. So under general, you can do whatever, make changes you want, but for this example, I'm leaving it as it is. Request, for now, let's leave that section as it is over here, but because you've already given the header in the previous step, we will get rid of this one. So click on the ellipsis over there, hit delete. In content type, go ahead and click on edit, because there's two things we want to do. First is this is required. Go ahead and change that to no. And then in the application, there's a space over here by default. Now that may be fixed later on, but if you still see it, go ahead and take that space off. And go and click on back. So we took care of that. As we move forward in response, we want to click on default. We want to select on import from sample. And in this body, that's where we want to go ahead and paste this information over here. Now this is the same information that is provided in this article. You scroll down a little bit, you'll see that it has been provided. So that's basically where I'm getting this information from. So I'll go back to the Power Apps and I'll paste it here and I'll import that. And now you see that the body has changed because now we have the answer and the score. So that's there as well. Let's just scroll back just to see if you're not missing anything. Everything so far looks good. So let's go ahead and now create the connector. Right, so we've created it. Now we want to do a test. In the test, you give a new connection name. So I'll click new connection name. Over here, I need to put in my subscription key, which is the same thing we used before. Create that. And it takes you back away to connections. So if you click over here on the ellipsis, or if you click on that and you click on edit, it's going to ask you for the subscription again, key again. So you want to go back, click on manage custom connectors. Over here you can click on this edit or this pencil. So that's right. That's how you go back in. Now we want to do a test. So in the test, just make sure that the content type doesn't have any blank, and we're going to put in the same question that we did before, which was just hi. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's see if it works. Hi, test operation, it's testing, and it came back with a response or a request. Basically it did not work, so we need to do some troubleshooting. So let's go back from the beginning. In the security, everything is pretty much okay over here, and definition is basically where we're going to spend most of the time troubleshooting. In definition, what I'll do is I'll rebuild this request from scratch. So just to look ahead of time, we are going to have the URL, we will add the header, and then we're going to add a body. So I'll go ahead and now import from sample, and this is us building this request from scratch. So yes, it is a post. Here's the URL, which is something we've built before. paste the header. In the header is the same thing, which is the content type application JSON. And then in the body, I am going to add this information here. Make sure that your comma or semicolon isn't over here. Sometimes you may try to get that, copy and paste it accidentally, so make sure that's not there. So everything is over here again. So let's go ahead and let's actually do some other, look at a couple of things. In the default, I see that both of them are here, the body that we added before, so that's good. Also, you can go down over here and add a default response. We don't make any change over there, so let's just update the connector. Let's do another test. Let's go back to the test. Content type, for some reason it's asking the content type again. For that, we just put in these two things, application and JSON. Make sure there's no space over there. And I'll put in hi, test operation, immediate failure. So we'll continue to troubleshoot, demo, post. Let's take a look at this guy again. Let's add all this information one more time. So go to content type now. See, this is the thing we just built from scratch, from import to sample, from sample. You see the URL is already there, but let's just go into the headers over here. Click on that, and there's the first thing. There's a colon over here. Let's get rid of that. So we did that. Everything else is good, so let's go back. Let's take a look at the body as well, just to see if there's any gotchas here. Question, don't see anything out of the ordinary, so we can just go back, post is good. In the default, we want to check, yep, the two are there. So let's now update the connector again. Okay, so let's do another test. Content type. Thinking. And we do have a success. It's got the green check over here. Status is okay. And we've got the response to score 100. So that means that our connector is now successfully available, which means we've now made our own custom data connector from QnA Maker using also the Postman, and we've now been able to successfully get that into Power Apps. So hopefully the troubleshooting steps over here have helped you to go ahead and make your custom connector successful. Thanks.